10th, 2023. And the first thing we have here are the minutes from the April 12th, 2023 meeting. Are there any edits, corrections, additions, deletions, clarifications needed by anyone from the commission? Are any of those from the staff that we need to address?
None here.
Okay. Hearing none, can I have a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion.
Nora says the motion.
I'll second.
Second.
I'll
Donna,
second.
second. Thank you. Final, any other comments? Hearing none. Ayes,
Aye.
nays, abstentions, minutes are in the books, as they say. I'm gonna go just a touch out of order real quick here. And if there was anything, I know that our Jenny and made the trip up here. Jenny, and I'm trying to remember the other gentleman's name off the top of my head, and of course I'm having a tough moment here.
Tom Lewis. Tom Lewis.
Thank you very much, Tom. And is there anything that folks would like to report how the audit or the meetings and everything went?
Vicky, you want to pick that?
Sure, I can say that I have to say I think that the preliminary review I think went well. The good news was that our CE compliance levels were good, had been an improvement from even last year. The opportunities for improvement were relative to appraisal matters concerned our lack of a full commission, which everybody's aware of. And there were some questions regarding our application process for temporary practices, and there had been some issues or some concerns with the National Registry. In terms of the AMC, there's statutory language regarding federally regulated AMCs and exemptions that we are trying to, I'll say, reconcile. And the only other thing I can say, without the collaborative efforts of everybody, either on the commission or within our department, we would not have achieved as much as we did. And we're waiting for, of course, our written review. So that's pretty much it.
Great. Thank you for the overview. Any questions from members of the commission? Is there anything that you need from us as commission members, from the staff, that will help you, or is there something we're doing in error, or, you know, not fully meeting whatever the expectations? Is there anything that we need to do to help resolve whatever the areas we need to improve?
Not at this time. I mean, I think everything, we have to wait till we get our written results, if you will, but no, I think that so far so good.
All right, great. So that's wonderful news, and a tip of the hat to all of you for as staff, will have you, how everyone had to work. You know, it has been a challenging time. There's no doubt about it. So I applaud you for all the efforts that you guys put forth, and a big thank you. So we can't say anything more than that, than a big thank you. So here I was just jumping ahead here. Members of my fellow commission members, any other questions on this topic?
No, that sounds good though.
Okay. Okay, great. The one thing before in here, because they're waving at me, and I thought I was going to be able to buy 10 minutes here. Is John on?
Looks like.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, now we
Awesome.
can.
Thanks, Rick.
That's great. Okay. Great. Because there's a short time here with me on here on the courses, let me just take care of the courses. Is there any issues by any members of the commission or staff of what was presented on the agenda for the course approvals?
No.
Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the courses as presented from AAL 1050 that goes all the way down to APR 300?
I'll make the
Can I get a
motion.
motion? Okay. A motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
Second.
We have a second discussion. Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Ayes,
Aye.
nays, abstentions, that is passed. Then we have one AAL N60. No AQB or IDEC approval. It's the Real Estate Damages in Connecticut Seminar, sponsored by the Connecticut chapter of the Appraisal Institute out of Torrington, Connecticut, for 3 hours. Any
Wow.
questions or concerns by members of the commission?
I didn't see anything on it. Did we get any documentation on that?
No, that's my error there. I forgot to send it. I'll send it out and then move this. Do you want me to move it to the next, meeting?
Yeah, I
To
would
June?
say yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so that will be tabled to next meeting. I'm making notes here. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Very good. On the legal, is there anything, Vicky, to bring up on the legal side?
No, there's no new issues, no new complaints, you know, in preparation for the ASC, we cleaned up everything, so I think we're all set.
That's wonderful. That's great. So folks, that takes care of that, and I am sorry, since they've now come to the second time to say, can I please come over to the stage area here? So I'm gonna have to drop off, and I hope to get back on in about an hour if you're still going. If it's not, I apologize. Is there anything else you need from me before I drop off?
Is
Hearing
enough,
none?
is it for the quorum here too for these,
Yep.
approvals for new business?
We have the three.
Okay,
Very good.
thanks.
Okay.
All
Thank you.
right, enjoy your day.
Take care.
So does that leave me as running the thing, meeting? Or
You're
Sean,
the-
you want to do?
So I
Flip
guess
a
I have a
coin.
question there to Debbie, because, Debbie, I sent that one complaint. Where do we keep track of those for the future that we would know that there was a new complaint?
That's what investigations, in terms of tracking, you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there's a way that you can look it up. I'm just not sure of what that process is. But I'll find out and I'll email you on it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to know how many open complaints you guys have, so.
I do. I've got, I actually got some right here. I've got,
Well, my queue says 30, but there's 7 of them that are entered. One is entered, I think 4 or 5 times. It's the same one. But getting rid of all those, I've got a total of 21. 9 are timeshare issues, which you guys don't have jurisdiction over. 8 of them, 8? No, 9 are either value or use PAP related. One of those 9 is actually just a use PAP issue. It's not a value issue. Some concern about plagiarism. 2, including one of those is yours, is unlicensed appraisal work, BPO. And one of them is an AMC fee dispute.
Yeah, it's helpful to have that type of information, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So Deb, so if a case came in and you guys found that there was fraud or legal or something like that, and you guys turned it over to, I would assume the Attorney General's office or something like that for prosecution or something, that's not counted in these statistics, these numbers?
No. No.
All right,
that
so
was in the report that went to you, I believe, at meeting perhaps.
this report here, can you get,
Yes.
So where on this report does it say that something was? I see close, close, close. Is there a column that says that it was transferred?
No. But we can follow up with that.
Can you follow up with that? I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, it would be good if that report had like all the open ones, so we know just in the general, like you said, like you gave us, you know, X or
Mhm.
so many use PAP, so many Y, and then we can kind of see each month how they go.
Sure.
All right.
I can tell you, there's not going to be the prosecution of that fraud went on because there's nobody to prosecute. We couldn't find the person. There's no one to prosecute. I found everybody else, aunts, uncles, you know, facetious, but there's no one to prosecute.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Maybe we can have a separate conversation about that with Vicky, just to explain that process to me separately.
Sorry,
Mhm.
just to interrupt, there is a message in our chat from Jackie. It just says, is there a way this seminar can be approved today? It was submitted in a timely manner and our offering date is June 15th, which is the day after the June commission meeting. Thank you.
Deb, can you circulate the, can you email us the
Sure.
information?
Yep, I'll do that now.
Well, I know, Debbie, as you know, that CWAO was trying to get something through as well. And she emailed you again this morning.
Who?
CWAO, Mary Gardner sent you something today.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know.
And their
We,
conference June too.
Was it submitted in time, in a timely manner, Shauna?
well, I believe you were CC'd, Shauna, on my communication with Mary yesterday, because they applied for real estate courses,
Yeah,
not
I saw that.
appraisal courses. So we can't approve anything until, the
I thought she
application is submitted
resubmitted it to you today,
correctly.
though. I thought she
Hmm?
resubmitted to you, she sent you an email today.
Yeah, I saw that when I logged on. Yeah, she sent it at 7:18. I wasn't on yet.
All right, well, that one came in kind of late, so why don't we postpone that one till next?
Oh, that's like this one here that says seminar can be approved. Oh. Well, when did this one from Jackie come in?
I don't know. I'm logging on to e-license right now.
Yeah, I do agree. We should really. It's on the agenda, she says. Oh, it's on the agenda.
Yeah, I did put it on the agenda, but I just forgot to send the materials.
Oh, that's that one, the real estate damages.
Yes. Oh, shoot.
All right, can you send those to us? And then if we have time at the end, we'll look those over and deal with it. We'll just move
Yep.
on from here.
Yep,
right,
signing on now.
Now, I logged on a little bit late. Did we already go over the appraisal subcommittee information? I heard a little bit about that.
No, we
Yes.
did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did.
Okay. All right, let's jump into old business then. We got the three people up for review. Brian, can I pronounce this right? Burgundy, Carrie Mertz, and Christopher Hibbs. Are they all here?
Well, Hibbs was just a selection,
Yes.
not actually going over the reports, right?
No. Don't tell us that.
They are all here.
Okay. I didn't get any reports from Christopher Hibbs. Did you?
Yeah, neither did I. I got a
I s-
sample selection.
I thought the sample selections were the reports.
Now it's just what to pick from. You know how we
That's
usually
log,
pick
you mean?
the log. I'm sorry. Yeah, the log. That's what I got. Is the log, which I picked a couple to send to you if we haven't done that yet.
And I sent them. Hold on one second. Everything was a little, I know I sent them because I wrote down that I sent them. I sent them on 3/24.
B24. That is Brig Hindi,
Mm-hmm.
right? We were talking about Hibbs.
Because I sent 4/13 to you.
4:15. I don't have anything there.
I sent them to Cromwell and Esperon.
Yeah. Oh, that is Cromwell. Yeah, I don't have them.
All right, I'll forward them again. Let me just,
I don't have them either.
let me,
How about you, John? Did you get Hibbs?
No, I did not get Hibbs. I got the other twos, but I didn't get Hibbs.
Yeah, me too. I got the other two.
I don't know that I sent them. No, I just sent them to Shauna because they were, it's residential.
Probably best if you always send it just to everybody and then.
Yeah, you can send it to all of us, Deb, because if, I like to look at them too, because we're voting on them, so we like to look at them.
Right, because the only reason I did that was because last time when I sent all of them for a general, I sent them to Linda and Linda said, no, don't send them to me, just send them to the generals. So that's why I sent it to just
Oh.
Shauna.
Just like John, I mean, I don't give it when on the generals, I'll spend less time than on the residential ones, but it's always good to have
Mhm.
all of them.
Right.
Okay.
Just this way, when they talk about it, at least I can be somewhat familiar with what they're talking about, but I do not
Alright.
have one for Hibbs.
All right,
I guess
Okay,
I
let
should
me
check my other
back out
email.
of this, put him to the end. Let me just get,
all right. Let's start off with Ryan. Ryan, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Good, how are you?
And your supervisors here? Both
Yes.
David? And Mike. Okay, can
We're
you
here.
state your name and your, for the record here?
Sure. My name is Ryan Burgundy, Brighindy.
All right. And I reviewed your work, and the only
Current business address?
business
Oh.
address,
23 Sherman Street, Fairfield, Connecticut.
shoot.
I went over your work, and I found it very thorough. I'm very pleased. It was refreshing to get work that was that thorough, that good, that detailed. The only comment that I can make about your work is just to be. I know you have a template that you're working with, and your parameters of what you can do are often bounded by that template. And in your work, I noticed that you often will say the mean, average, high and low, and average and stuff. And it seems like you're always coming towards the average. And sometimes your adjusted range is further apart than your unadjusted range. And so I think just going forward, I think you should be careful of just focusing on the average and just, sometimes a little bit more explanation as to why you're actually going that way. I did find only one or two typo types of things, which really are trivial. But other than that, I commend your supervisors for teaching you the way you're being taught, and the quality of the work that's coming across. So I have no issues with voting, making a motion to nominate for Ryan for his experience credits. Anybody else got any questions?
No, if you're good, I'm happy with that.
Doris,
I'm good.
that's it for us, huh? Is Maria on?
She is not.
Okay. All right, does anybody want to make a motion? I'll make a motion that we accept his,
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ryan, I think that was the smoothest one we had on the commercial side in a while.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate the words and thank you to the commission.
All right,
Really appreciate it.
good luck going forward. Good luck with the
Thank
test.
you.
All right, is Carrie
Excuse
here?
me, excuse me for just one moment, please. I know Mr. Herbst was on, so could you just have him in the record so that the record reflects that he was present today in terms of what the process is?
David, could you state your name and your workplace?
Yes, David Herbst, Karen and Fazio. Business address is 23 Sherman Street, Fairfield, Connecticut, 06824.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So you're all set. All right, next we have Carrie. Carrie's here,
Yes, I'm here.
and your supervisor's here, Tony Sullivan. Carrie, could you state your name and
Yes. Yes.
Carrie Mertz, MERTZ.
your place of employment?
It's Collier's, 1114 Avenue of the Americas in New York, New York.
Tony Sullivan, can you state yours?
Yes, same address, Tony O'Sullivan, Colliers International, 1117 Avenue de Merck, New York, New York.
Spell your last name for the record, please.
O apostrophe Sullivan.
Thank you.
Hi, Carrie. Thanks for coming back. I know that you, the first time you were here, we had some issues, but I went through all the reports, and they're the same quality report as the one you submitted with underneath Tony for the first time. I don't really have any questions at all. I think I can tell you took the time to be more thorough and address everything. I found that your comps that you selected were more locational appropriate, more regional appropriate. The only thing I did notice was there was a couple where you on the for instance, on the you submitted the mixed use property. I noticed there wasn't many photos, which may have been for some reason, but I did notice there was like 2 photos of the side of the building kind of showing the same thing. And photos show a lot in a report. The other reports were fine in terms of photos. So maybe there was just a reason, but that's something just to help you out with. And then the other thing was I know that your template requires you guys to have a lot of regional data, but on one of them, I think I got to page 53 or something like that before we got into the subject stuff. And I know you have to take that, but I think one thing that you should try to hopefully not avoid is not getting stuck on the regional stuff, focusing on and just focus more on being property specific. For instance, on the veterinary clinic, you commented about your neighborhood being, Hartford being the region and then New London being the submarket. And I know that might be language that just comes over from your template and stuff because of the geographic area that your firm covers. But, a veterinary clinic is more, pretty much local property that's, very impacted. When a vet's looking for a property, he's not really looking up in Hartford or, Fairfield County. He or she is just focusing on that thing. So that's my only real criticism is just going forward. But I think you definitely demonstrated that you understand the methodology of appraising. You actually communicate that. And, I think you're ready to take the test. So thank you very much for taking the time to put these 3 together as thoroughly as you did. So thank you. So
Thank you
I don't
very
have any
much.
more questions. Anybody else have any questions? No. Do I make a motion that we accept Carrie Mertz's experience? Anybody want to second it?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You're all set. You're ready to go. Take the test. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Tony.
very much.
Time, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. So I'm gonna get a reputation of getting everybody off easy with this one this week.
I know.
All right. So, what are we gonna do about, Christopher Hibbs?
I did find that
find-
Hibbs are in my other email, so I've been trying to look at them while you were going over those.
Okay, you want me to keep going on to new
Thank
business?
God.
Yeah, that would be good, and then we'll come back.
All
I
right,
just sent, excuse me, John, I just sent the email for AAL 1060. The reason I did not send the materials was because it was uploaded to the system on 4/27, but our cutoff for the agenda was 4/21. And the agenda was sent out for distribution on 4/25. But you have it now. It's easy, I think 2-pager to look at.
all right. Christopher and your crew behind you, if you guys could just hold on while Shauna just reviews the work, and then we'll get to you shortly.
Sure, no problem.
I'm gonna take a moment and just go over this. Does Norris have access to this too?
I'm watching, I'm reading it right now. Looks fine to me.
All right, I have no problem with this. I make a motion that we accept this, the 3-hour
I'll second
AAL
it. I'll second it.
1060. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Sean, are you an aye?
Yeah, I'm an aye.
Okay, so that's all set.
All right, so I did review Hibbs. The only issue is 8 Balsam Place in Cheshire was just an update, so it's not even an appraisal.
Well,
would've
let
been
me
nice to have
get
the-
him on the record. And if you're ready, Shauna, let me get him on the record. Chris, could you state your name, and address, and place of business for the record, and then each one of your supervisors?
Sure. Christopher Hibbs, HIBBS, 160 Oak Street, Glastonbury.
Can we start with Mr. O'Malley and work both ways then?
John.
Sure. I'm John O'Malley, 160 Oak Street, Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Sean?
Good. Robert Bez, EZZ, 160 Oak Street, Glastonbury, Connecticut.
And Sean O'Rourke, Sourke, 160 Oak Street, Glastonbury.
Thank you. All right, Shauna, hit it.
Yeah, 8
I have one more
Balsam
supervisor
Place.
who's on the line as well.
Yep, this is Curtis Gray, Grey, also 160 Oak Street, Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Sorry about that.
I didn't have the report for 8 Balsam Place. It was on the update. It would have been helpful to have the original report. What's that noise?
You have any questions, Shauna?
Well, I don't have that to look at. His other ones look fine.
Really?
I mean, you
His
got,
other ones look fine.
I'm looking at Christopher, and I realize you probably have, what, 120 years of experience sitting behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in the future, we'll just have to make sure that they're not just updates, because not having the original report made it difficult. But the ones that at least I had a couple here to look at, and they look great. So I will make a motion to approve.
Norris, you want to second it?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You're all set? You're all set, Mr.
Debbie, in the future, like you do with those general reports, if you can send those like that with those links, probably would be beneficial. Maybe my town threw those out, and that's why I didn't get them to my town, and that's why I didn't see them.
Okay.
All right,
All
Chris,
right.
got any questions before we? You all set? You know what to do next?
I'm sorry, did you ask me if I had any questions?
Yes.
John?
Do you have any questions? Are you all set? You know what to do next?
No, I'm all set. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for coming in, all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
All right. All right, next, new business, we have, Linda is seeking 14 hours of continuing education for her contribution to preparing the law module. Have we done this in the past? Vicky, do you recall anything?
Yes, we have done that in the past.
I'll make the
Yes, we have
motion.
done that in the past.
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? I guess my discussion is, are we allowed, all of us, to put in what our time was for that, or?
Yeah, you're allowed to, if you work on a course, to put in time.
All right.
Time for the future.
Time for the future. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Christopher Laporte, RSP 2036, requests an extension of time in order to take the PSI exam as her 6 years expire on April 30th, 2023. Is Christine here?
No, she's not. And the reason she's not is because after I put this down, she was able to get an appointment to take the exam. So she's taking the exam right now as we speak. So I had already submitted it. I don't know if you give approval, I don't know how that works, but if you give approval without her here, or if I should just table it to June. I'm hoping that she passes her test, but I have no
Well,
idea.
Wait a minute. Her time expired on April 30th. Today
Right.
is May 10th, and she's taking the exam
Correct.
How'd you
after
get the
the.
test?
What was that, Norris?
How'd you get the test? If everything expired?
She was approved to take the test. I don't know when. Let me find out. She was approved to take the test. And she couldn't get an appointment. When she got the appointment, she fell ill and had to cancel or reschedule the appointment. She rescheduled it today, but then prior to that, she had notified me that she needed an extension. I put her on the agenda, but then she got an appointment for that day. So I left her on
So
the
when did-
agenda because I
when did
wasn't
she know-
sure.
When did she notify you, Debbie?
Hold on one second. Let me look her up in my email. Christina. Um. Um. 4/26.
Okay, so I'm thinking that since she notified you in April before her expiration, I know there's been delays with trying to get this test. She's taking the test today, is what she says?
Yeah, she said, she's taking the test, I believe, yeah, at 9 a.m. in West Hartford.
So why don't we I'm gonna make a suggestion that we just extend her for 1 month. And then if she doesn't pass the test, then she comes in next month and we'll go from there. Anybody okay with that? I mean, the reality is she scheduled it before the expiration, and I know we've had issues with people. We've had people come on here, they're having difficulty, which we were going to look into, right? The state was going to look into and get back to us.
I contacted the liaison, the state liaison. They have no communication with them other than to put the names through. I also sent out an email to PSI with their general contact and asked them to attend either, I don't think it was last meeting, I think it was the March meeting. And no one responded. I called them and I got through to a person just by pressing the plumbing testing, make an appointment with plumbers. And when I got a real person, I said, look, I need to talk to somebody about this. And I got voicemail and that was it. Actually, I had called and spoke with them for Mr. Nardini, because he was having trouble. He was having trouble getting an appointment because at the West Hartford branch. So that's where I intervened. I tried to intervene. I called up PSI. They don't have a contact number where, you know, you can just talk to a person. It puts you in this, if you call that number for PSI, which is online, you can look it up. It puts you into this phone tree, you know, press 1 if you want this, press this, now press this. And then it wraps you back to the beginning, which I got frustrated when I couldn't, you know, actually get to somebody. And I just called back and I pressed whatever button it was for plumbing, and the plumbers answered right away.
So, Vicky, is it possible that you can you jump in here? What is it possible that maybe you could write a letter to them to say, hey, we've tried to contact, can someone respond? We have concerns. Or maybe Debbie try another.
I can try to see what the process would be. Again, that's an outside vendor. I think the concern that was raised previously was that there were not enough appraisal people taking the test. And that was the reason why there was the infrequent scheduling that happened. In terms of, I'm just using plumbers because Debbie said she had contacted and somebody was, you know, very receptive. It kind of depends on what the industry is doing. I will follow up to see if somebody can give us some more clarity as to what the process is. But my understanding was it was based on the frequency or the number of people that were signing up for a particular area or testing area. But I can check again.
Why don't you follow up on that? Because then if we come back and we find out, okay, that's the way it is, then maybe we can make a motion and pass something to give Debbie authority to just, if it's somebody in this like situation, because I think this is like the third time this has happened, where we can just give them an extension without having them drag before us or something, if that's possible.
Or if they, or maybe they could give us clarification. If they want to say, you know, the only time that we will be able to offer the, you know, tests, you know, for appraisal candidates is, you know, the first Wednesday of the month or whatever, at least we'll have some knowledge that that's when it is. But to keep trying to, you know, if they can give us a schedule, I mean, that's fine. We just know what the schedule is and say, hey, you know, we will make the adjustments afterwards. I mean, I think that that's fair, and I'll see what their response is. But yes, I can follow up and I'll have something hopefully for you next month.
Okay, so can we put that on next month's agenda? And then
Absolutely.
can I make a motion then to, did I already make that, to extend Christine Laporte for 1 month?
I'll make the motion.
Sean, you want to second it?
I'll make that motion, I guess.
All right, so
I'm sorry, yeah, second.
all right, so she's all set, and then Deb, you'll follow up if there's, she doesn't pass, she has to come in.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. So we're extending it till May 30th then. 30 days from here, from this date.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking 30 days from this date. No, we have to, you know what, why don't, it'll be 30 days.
Why don't you write it till after our meeting? Can't do it till after the meeting, just to be sure.
What was that, Norris? Can you repeat that?
Can't do it. We can't do it till after the meeting. When's our next meeting? June.
Hold on. It would
June
be
14th.
Yep, June 14th.
So I think we should extend it to June 14th.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
June 14th.
All right. Bill Kislick, William Kislick,
Excuse me, before you move forward, can I say, I found the reference to PSI in the February 8th minutes. And that's where a representative was invited to come to the meeting to discuss, and they never showed up, just for the record. It was February 8th meeting.
Okay, great. Okay, we can include that in the minutes too. All right, we ready to move on? Bill Kislick, RCG 336 is seeking 2 hours continuing education for a webinar he attended. I looked this over. I don't have any problems with this. Anybody have any discussion on this?
I don't see any agenda item. Which one are you on?
This is the one that Jerry talked about. He also sent the email.
William?
Yeah, on number 3, William Kislick.
Yeah, the email that we have, it doesn't lay out any paperwork. It just shows that he attended. I don't have anything about the class. I don't know what it is. Virtual education class. What more does that tell me?
The economic webinar?
And then if I go to the AI one, it just tells me he took this class. I have no idea what this class is. It says AI education detail. There is no detail. Class affidavit. Okay, I know he attended.
I have Jerry also sent out an email saying that he's the one. Did you see Jerry's email, Shauna?
Jerry's.
Yeah. I can pull it up. Give me a minute to find it.
This has been historically, and in the past year was no different. It has become a must for New York metro area. But again, what is it to keep in current?
Well, most chapters put up a 2 hour. He's only seeking 2 hours, right? 2 hour. It's basically just an overview of the economy, what's happening in the economy as it pertains to appraisals. So it doesn't get into details of stocks and bonds and things like that, but it just talks about general trends that are affecting things like mortgage rates, interest rates, supply and demand, things like that. We do one here in Connecticut, but we haven't had one since before COVID.
I just don't have enough information for me to be able to approve.
Okay.
Do you want to table it for next month? Just
sure.
Get the information, table it for next month. I'm reading it here, so like I said, table it for next month.
He's got time, so.
Yeah, he's got plenty.
All right, Deb, if you can get that information, then we'll table that one. All right, Jan Barinholtz, RCG 46, that's an old number, is seeking continuing credits for the following course, ANCI Measuring Standards 2023 Economic Forecast and the Lender's Perspective. Now, is this the same economic forecast?
I had a feeling it was because of the hours.
Where I'm doing this over there.
Yeah, it's the same one. Of course. No, this one's different. When's the one that he took? Bill Kislick took. No, it's a different class.
It says a New York certificate. I know he took it in New York.
Yeah.
Am I looking at the right one?
Bill
No, that's ANSI, sorry.
Bill Kislick took his January 31st, 2023. This other one is May of 22.
And this one from Jan is the same course then, because this was January 31st, 23. New York Metro, New York chapter of the Appraisal
Yeah.
Institute.
Okay.
Do you have all the?
I just sent you
Do
what
have all
they
the
sent me.
Okay, I'm just looking.
I don't have any problem with approving the 3 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. And if we're going to approve the economic forecast for Jan, then I don't have a problem approving it for Bill Kislick too, using the information that came through Jan. Barinholtz.
I just don't see this information. Where is the information describing what they're doing?
It
So
was
I-
my understanding that they just had to send in a certificate that they completed the course.
If the course was approved or we know about the course, I don't.
It's underneath Jan Barinholtz, Shauna. It's the one that says 2023 January 31 seminar.
Two. I'm on
I see
Debbie's
it right
email.
here.
It
Which
says
one?
It says 2023 January 31 seminar, economic forecast.
Okay.
And if you open up, it gives you the who the presenters were. And it gives an overview.
There's no outline. No. What to expect? Tells me it was approved somewhere else and who's sponsoring. It's just not enough for me. I can't approve it, but you guys can go ahead if you want. I need more information than that.
All right, so let's do this then. Since Jan Barinholtz is do you have enough information for the rest of them, the other two?
There's nothing in there. For what? What's in this email that tells me what these courses are really about?
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, why don't we just table all this and just tell them to get us the information for next month?
All right, that sounds good to me. Okay.
All right.
We need more information than just, hey, I was there and this is the title of the presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, what exactly would you like? You want them to get
The agenda.
what,
Their
the
agenda.
syllabus or?
Yeah, the
their
syllabus would
agenda.
be great.
Yeah.
So you can see what kind of topics are actually being discussed and how long they're gonna be. It says 2 hours. I don't know. Could be an hour of gambling and an hour of education. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, I'm fine. I'm fine with
Do you
what.
need any information on the, do you need any information on the instructors as well? Like resumes or anything like
I
that?
think that kind of
Hey, whatever
gives
they
us,
can send us,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
whatever they can send
Okay.
us, we're good. Johnny, you're
All right.
back.
All right, I think we covered everything. Did we cover everything?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Looks like it. Boy, this is record time.
Was
All right.
Jackie's
We have
question
had
answered?
passwords.
So I got one more anybody from the public here that want to make a comment or ask anything?
Was Jackie's question answered relative to
Yes.
how many days the application needs to be submitted prior to commission meeting? Was that answered?
Oh, how many days?
Her question was, can you please state how many days an application needs to be submitted prior to the commission meeting so I can make sure that I meet the appropriate deadlines? That was in the chat.
I can't pull up the chats.
Okay.
And then she has another. I thought an appraiser could send in a CE form from another state board, and I can't see the rest of it.
Jackie, can you jump on?
And ask for reciprocal credit. Okay. Jackie?
Yeah, John, I thought previously that, an appraiser, if they took something from that had a CE certificate from say the New York Appraisal Board, Massachusetts Appraisal Board, and they were asking for reciprocal credit, that they didn't have to submit all the outlines and everything because one of the other state appraisal boards had approved it, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought in the past you folks had approved like, the Metro New York economic forecasting because the New York State Board had approved it, but maybe I'm not correct on that.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
I don't recall that, but I think we can put that on the agenda for something to discuss next week, as far as the next month too, so that we could be consistent and maybe go back and look at what we've done in the past. Maybe, I don't know, Deb, if you ever have any conversations with Linda still, or she's totally retired, maybe you can ask her what we've done in the past. And then the second thing, as far as a deadline for submitting stuff to Debbie, I don't think we have one, but it might be a good idea to come up with one so that to make it more manageable for Debbie. And
Right,
for,
I thought she had said like April 21st, which is, almost 3 weeks prior to a commission meeting. So I just want to make sure that I have the appropriate deadline so I can avoid any issues in the future.
well, we
Right.
can tentatively
So-
say the 21st now, but I think we should table this and talk about this. Jerry's here too, so he can have a better recollection of and set it up, because he's mentioned this before about timely stuff being submitted to us in a manner that gives us time to review it.
Mhm.
And I think it would make
Well,
it more manageable for Debbie too.
Yes, actually, Jackie, the reason we did, I set up a time for myself is because I have to have time to prepare the agenda and get it out to the department that distributes it to everybody with the link. And I give, like, for instance, for April, for the May meeting, my cutoff in my calendar, I wrote on the 21st, because there's always stragglers that come in. So I start doing the agenda on that Tuesday, and try to get it out, within that week.
Right, I
So
guess
that's-
because the meeting is May 10th and you said April 21st, I just want clarification. And again, it was on the agenda. So again, I just want to be clear so we don't, we can avoid further issues.
All right, so why don't we say
Going
the 21st for now, but Deb, I think we should put this on the agenda so we actually.
But it's not the same day all the time. It's not the same,
Correct.
it would be the Friday, like, the Friday before the 2-week mark before the next meeting, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And the
that's
reason,
fine.
because Friday was the 1st, and then, I waited for stragglers. The reason it was on the agenda now is because we were wrapped up with the audit, and I was late getting the agenda out to Jason. And that's why I saw that come in. I just added it to the agenda prior to me sending it out to him, because it was an AI course. I didn't think it would be a problem, but I forgot to send the materials
No problem.
along with. But typically, the agenda goes out 2 weeks prior to the meeting. It doesn't go out to the commissioners. It just goes out to Jason's crew. And then they send it out at the appropriate time. But my cutoff is the Friday before the 2 weeks prior to the meeting every month.
All right, so why don't we,
Because-
yeah, why don't we go with that? But I want to, if we could put this on the agenda for next month, because I know Jerry wants to be part of this conversation. Because if you send it out 2 weeks ahead to this other guy, he sits on it for 2 weeks, and then we get a handful of appraisals last minute. It makes it very difficult for us to review. So maybe we can just go through that process.
Right, but he doesn't send the appraisals out. I do. Send
Okay.
you the appraisals.
Okay.
This is just for the agenda itself.
Okay. All right.
It's nothing to do with the appraisals that you're going to be reviewing.
And the coursework, you send that out?
I send that. And I didn't send it out this time
All right.
for Jackie's course.
All right, Jackie, are you good with that answer right now? We'll just talk about it again next month, just so Jerry's on board in the same loop.
Yeah, absolutely. And John, I know that, we just did the law class and we had noticed that Maria's name wasn't on that. And I know that, I just reached out to Debbie to give her FYI, and I know that, they were in doing the audit. But is that something that we're going to get updated so that we can make sure that her name is on there for future offerings? Will that go out to the schools, or should we just make that modification ourselves on the law module?
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I spoke
I
with
can't see why they
Linda
can't just
about
add
that.
it.
Sean?
They should be able to just add it. I mean, right? I don't know.
Linda, I spoke with Linda about it and she said, you know, just make the edit, but if you want
Yeah.
to make a clear copy for you, I can do that, resend it.
No, well, I'm happy to make it, but again, we were told that we weren't supposed to modify the presentation we received. So John just verbally stated the information. So I just wanted to make sure we follow the proper protocol.
I actually shook the screen to see if anybody else wanted to volunteer, but didn't do any good. So. All right, anything else?
Well, I don't know if it's part of the meeting or not. Deb, how does CAA get approved for being a school? Because I guess that's part of the issue. That do you approve them and then they can just start?
Yes, but he didn't fill out, and you're talking about John, right?
Well, I'm just trying to get the whole process down.
Okay, so
Obviously,
John,
I know they were a school, they got expired, and then they had to repay,
right.
and then,
He has to fill out an application. He did not complete his application. He has to submit, and it's right there on the application. It tells you what you need to submit. He did not upload the appropriate materials at all. I can't approve the courses until the school gets approved.
Right.
It goes in that order.
I do get
So
that part.
then Mary yesterday, you know, applied for real estate course.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, was that in her intention? So we wrote her back. Linda had offered to walk Mary through the application process, which will
So
probably
Mary
take time.
says it's because the AAL was grayed out because the school's not approved, right? Is that a true
Correct.
statement?
That is a true statement. And the school's not approved until he gets the completes the application. First of all, it says right on the application, it's incomplete. Like from his view, it says it's incomplete. It needs this, this, and this. I'm going to send him an email today. And if he wants to call me, he can. But I'll send him an email today and let him know.
Okay, so
I'll talk to you later about it.
So once he does send out the appropriate form, who approves the school? Does that you do
Me.
that?
Me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And
and
I'm
is that a
looking for
fairly
it.
short amount of time? So then they,
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if I know that it's coming. So, you know, I keep an eye out for these things. If it was just a general, I mean, if it's something that is timely, of course, I keep an eye out for it. And that's why
they
I
need
looked at that.
they have to file for the school, get approved, then they can resubmit all that documentation the right way.
Correct. Correct.
All right.
And
Well,
it says, it tells you it tells you what you need to do on the application. And the problem is if they upload it, or if they put the wrong prefix, you know, we can't use that. We can't approve it. That's what's happened in the past. Cannot approve it. So right now there's 2 real estate courses, 2 appraisal courses that can't be approved because they're applied as a real estate course. So she's got to start all over.
right, I get that part. So those should probably just be deleted and then, or not, whatever you do, just not have to act on it.
Right.
And then they have to get approved to be a school. I guess that's the big issue right now for them.
Right. And the only thing I have in there is an email.
Yeah.
No
I don't know
course
why it's such
materials, no nothing.
I know Mary's trying to do it now because John got frustrated. So if you can email both of them, that would be great. Other than that, I have nothing else.
All right.
All right, anybody else? Norris, you got anything?
I'm good.
Vicky, anybody? Deb, you're good?
Our next
I'm
meeting
as good as it's gonna be.
Somebody want to make a motion then to close the meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Wait, I just thought of something. Yep, last minute. Did you want to know how many renewals we had?
Oh, yeah.
Did we go over that?
Yeah, we have, because we should have that in the minutes to make it easier for us to remember when we teach the law module.
Okay, so this year we had 1,198 total renewed, broken down with 522 RCGs, 604 RCRs, and 72 provisionals, RSPs.
Wow, that's a lot of provisionals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is there a breakdown of the provisionals for residential or commercial?
No.
All right. I do want to clarify one thing. An appraiser can only take on no more than 3 provisionals.
Correct.
But how many supervisors can a provisional have?
As many as they want.
As many as they want.
All right, that came up, and I want to get that clear. All right, the motion is made. Any seconded? Close the meeting. Discussion. Ayes.
See you next month.
See you next
Thank
month.
you, Debbie, for all your help.
Take care.
Deb, I gotta give you a call on something totally unrelated to anything we discussed.
Bye all.
Is there a time I can call you that works for you?
You can call me now.
Okay, I'll give you a call. Bye, Norris. Have a good week.
All right.
Care.
All right, take
care,
care.
Bye,
everyone. Thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
Vicky.
Enjoy
Bye-bye.
the weather. Bye.